What is going up? What is going up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the MashandDrum. I am Jason C. Welcome back to the show on a lovely Whiskey Wednesday night here in the middle of the week. It is hump day, and that means we got a lot of whiskey. It means we got some great pours we're about to try out here, including a curious little mash bill that I made about 2 years ago. Two years ago. So we're going to try that, see how that is turning out. I'll give you guys a little bit more information about that, obviously. But yeah, as we kind of get into tonight, the big thing tonight is Blendageddon semifinals week 1. That's right. It's happening tonight. A hitter of a bracket: Jeffrey Wack, Darren Clary, Nathan Jorgensen, Adam Hinson, Miro, I think, is in there. Big Vic is in there. I mean, it's gonna get crazy. We got some special guest judges coming on a little bit later in the show to help me decipher and to see who gets into the finals, gets to make it to the final 4, and possibly we may have a little something to add to that, kind of a curveball here. So we'll see how that goes. But everybody, welcome in. What is going on? We already have 86 comments. I'm already falling back on. Oh my God. Jason hasn't been talking long, obviously. Yeah, I'm just messing up my words. Yep. Learning to speak for the first time today, James. All right, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. We have JG, Whiskey Cheers. What's going on, JG? EJ is here. Aloha and cheers all. We got James Lay, of course, LFG. Greetings, you filthy animals, from Randall Erickson. Joey B is in the house. We got Tim the Two-Man Taylor here. 96 Millie Man is here. We got Truman. Dr. Sped is here. Barrell Mizunura finished bourbon in the Glen tonight. I actually have the Barrell Foundation here poured, so I'm just letting this open up a little bit. We'll dive into this in a little bit. I've been hearing great things about it. I haven't tasted it yet. Barrell did send me this bottle just to be transparent, and yeah, we're going to dive in tonight. Get into a little bit. There's 4-leaf whiskey. 40 days till St. Patrick's Day. Stacy's already counting down. She's going to drink 40 whiskeys a day until it's St. Patty's Day. I'm only kidding. Stephen Walt is here. What's going on, Stephen? One of the best beards in the game. What's going on, man? Top Jimmy is here. Michael Speakerman. Josh Fritz is here. What's up, Fritzy? We got A-Brod. We got Jeff Perkins. Let's see. Who else? Russ L is here. Nathan Jurgensen. There he is. M&J Pursuit 00 in the Glen. Good luck, blenders. What do you think of the Pursuit bar pick, buddy? Adam Hess is here. Let's see. We got Tim Cornet in the house. The Bourbon Coach. He's here. We got Mary S is here. What's up, Mary? Mike Daly's here. Cheers, everyone. Some Havana in the glass. Very nice. Adam Hinson is here. He's ready to go. We got Cool Running. Big Vic. Maurizio Pastanes is here. I don't know why I put a little salt on that. I don't know. I just like saying that name. Maurizio. Ed Williams. Let's see here. JG is here. What's up? Ed, nice to see you as always. JG, nice to see you. Mike Daly is here. Who else? And it's just trying to catch up here. Norman Conklin's here. Ben Drammond. Whiskey Nose. It's Mr. Marty Party. What's going on? We got Tim Romero in the house. We got, let's see, who else? I'm just trying to catch up. Sean Ortego's here. What's going on, Sean? Nice to see you as always. Larry 3R. We got Johnny Dean in the house. What's up, Johnny? Nice to see you. We got Roger Reese. The beard zone is, oh, that is the zone. That is a beard. That is a zone of beard right there. Look at that. Look at that beard, man. Stephen Walt has some competition. Brilliant. There he is. There's Ben, Whiskey Uncensored. Cheers, Stacey and Joey. He's saying hi to folks. Karen B. Ford is here, and I just need to get to the end of the chat here because there's a lot of people coming in here. We already have 216 watching. Bourbon Engineers here. Facts over feelings. Hey, JC, let's roll. What's going on, man? And Nicholas 311. So more people coming in. Hooper just checking in right now. So yeah, as I said tonight, we're going to start off with a little Barrell Foundation double barrel. I think, in my opinion, this is the perfect release for barrel craft spirits right now, especially when you think about all the different bourbons and whiskeys that are sitting on shelves right now and the prices. This, I feel like, is a very savvy release based on what we've seen in the past from barrel craft spirits. This is a double oaked bourbon That's only about 54 bucks. So we're going to compare this to the Fox and Odin double oaked, which I love, and see which one I like better. But first, let's just dive into this one. It's bottle cam time. Let's get it. Here is the bottle of Barrell Foundation. Now, it says 5 years there on the label, and that might scare some people off, but honestly, there's 8-year-old Kentucky bourbon in there. There's Indiana. There's 5, 6, and 9-year Indiana whiskey in there. There's 8-year-old Tennessee, and there's 5 and 6-year-old Maryland in there as well. Mash bill from all that combination is 73 corn, 23% rye, and 4% malted barley. So that is what we have in the bottle. Let me get off the... I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, it's risky when you put like a 5 on the front of the label, but I think people should know by now that Barrell Craft Spirits does use a lot of older whiskey in their blends, but they also use younger whiskey. So trying to, bridge that gap. So, is the second barrel a new oak? You know what? Let me get into the details here. Double barrel bourbon exhibits all the complexity at a lower proof. So the proof on this is 100 proof, which is nice. Secondary maturation in new American oak casks enhances the notes. Okay, versatile, fruit, full flavored. So it looks like we just have a second maturation in a new oak cask. That's basically what we have. So it looks like they did the blend, put it all together, and then threw that blend in some new oak. So pretty standard when it comes to a double oaking process. But let's see what we have here. Fox and Odin for the world, NGP, Nancy the Nose. Yeah, we'll see how that one does here. So let me know what you guys are sipping in the chat tonight. What do you guys got? Anything new? Anything that you're revisiting? We'll always love to know. Something borrowed? Something new? Wow, this is really chocolatey to me on the nose, which is not. I love finding milk chocolate in whiskey. One of my favorite flavors, along with butterscotch and like a rich Luxardo cherry. Butterscotch probably be my first flavor I like to get. Second being cherry. Third being chocolate, and fourth being gabagool. It's very rare to find in whiskey. Rittenhouse rye pick in the Glen. Nice. Still Austin red corn 100 proof. This thing is a cinnamon finish bomb, says Whiskey Nose. Adam Hinson, he's also drinking the M&J Pursuit United Double Oak Rye, sipping barrel bourbon at cast strength. Wild Turkey 101 had some LLME batches, so seeing if they're better. 96 milli man is hoping. He's hoping. James Lay has a Tyrone K. Gotta love the special K barrels out of Russell's. Tumbling Dice 95.5. Man, some of those 95.5 9-year, 10, 11, 12-year single barrels are so good. Sanch DeBon says barrel is so underrated. Love the dovetail as a heater. Wonder if he's meaning hitter. Stag 22B, all cherry, no butterscotch, says Ken Davis. That's pretty spot on, Ken, with that batch. All right. A lot of spice here. And when I say spice, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can make a case for cinnamon, but I think this really gets into an allspice nutmeg type of, it's almost kind of holiday-ish to me. It's a little Christmassy. Kenneth Rathburn says, first pour in 4 weeks, going with something light and easy to warm back up. ETL, Little Elmer T. Lee, nice. I've got a 22B, need to revisit it. Anybody from Ohio watching? Anybody get lucky and grab a stag over the weekend? There was a bunch that dropped. So I'm wondering who waited on the lines. Got a stag, junior stag, whatever you want to call it these days. All right, cheers, guys. Let's try it out. I gotta say, that's really delicious. So, interestingly enough, I do get the chocolate, but it's kind of covered in this toffee orange combination. And I think that kind of plays into the blend here when you have MGP, Kentucky. I mean, you do have some Tennessee in there, but Tennessee, I think, is actually adding a little bit more of that chocolate vibe. You don't get a lot of chocolate most of the time from NGP in Kentucky, especially at those ages. So I feel like the Tennessee whiskey could be imparting the chocolate. So you have like this chocolate orange toffee mix with all those spices I was mentioning earlier. This is exactly what you want a double oaked whiskey to be. It's really good. Oh, yes. And Maryland. Actually, yeah, Maryland's a good point. You might get a little chocolate from there. Yeah, I mean, it sips about 100 proof. It's not overwhelming. This is good for $54. Man, a great double oaked. I mean, man, I smell triple base coming Friday with maybe this, maybe some Woodford double oak, maybe Fox and Odin, and I don't know what's another good affordable double oak that could throw this in there. Just kind of thinking off the top of my head. Damn, that's good. That's nice. Maryland equals fruit, says BT. Something about that comment. Maryland equals fruit. Got it. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Maryland whiskey is very fruit forward, and we'll see if my whiskey's ended up being like that. Starlight, Cedar. Oh, Cedar Ridge double oaked is really good. Old Forester 1910. That's probably more of a universal one I could throw in there. But let's try it against the Fox and Odin. Now, Fox and Odin was kind of like one of my big discoveries last year. I picked up a bottle. It was like, what the hell is this? I had tried it at Pours in the Park at one of the Junkies events, the Bourbon Junkies events, like not last year, I think the year before. And I'm like, man, this thing is good. But I hadn't seen it after that. So I kind of forgot about it. And then when I saw it in the store here locally, it kind of, hit me like, oh, I know what this is. And let me try this. And still, if it's as good as I remember. So ended up reviewing it. And this ended up being kind of a surprise bottle for me this year, or last year, I should say. So Fox and Odin double oaked has apparently some pretty old whiskey in it, but it's also 99 proof. So it's 1 point proof lower than the Barrell Foundation. So the sneaker blend, yeah, Fox and Odin double oak is the best double oak, says Josh Fritz. There's always a Woodford double at 200 for 700 mil. Yeah, Tim Cornell, I'll probably skip that one. Speaking of that bottle, I actually just acquired one of those, but not for me, for a review. It's actually going to be put into the end of the year fundraiser for the victims of the LA fires once we do the finals of Blendageddon. So if you guys want a chance to win that, we'll have the up and coming fundraiser here once we figure out when the finals of Blendageddon is going to be. Top Jimmy with the 8-month re-up. Thank you so much, guys. Hit that like button below. The Woodford DD wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Yeah, James Lay. I mean, I have a couple of 375s. I agree. It's not bad, but it's not super great either, JD 14 years dropping this month. Get you some of that. Yeah, hopefully I'm getting a sample here from Brown Foreman soon, from Jack Daniels. Have a pretty good relationship with them. So I'm hoping to get a media sample too, as well as a media sample from Heaven Hill to try that new 20-year wheat whiskey that's coming out. Or is it a 19-year wheat whiskey? I can't remember if it's 19 or 20. I think it's 19. Wasn't the 20 the corn whiskey? The 20 was the 20-year mellow corn. But this wheat whiskey, I think, is 19. Barrell New Year often is disappointing. Aaron C., I could not agree with you more. Every time I've had a Barrell New Year, there's just something about it that it just doesn't agree with my palate. I don't like it, man. Yeah, the wheat whiskey's 19. Yeah. All right, let's give this one a try. Man, that Fox and Odin is so good. It might be even a little bit more chocolatey tier than the Barrell. The Barrell, I do think, has a little bit more of that sweet foundation. Wow, I just said that word and it's named foundation. Weird. Must have just been in my head. But more of like that sweetness, that foundation of like toffee and sweetness to go with that chocolate. Whereas the Fox and Odin, to me, I feel like is a little bit more oak forward and also has a little bit more of a chocolate, more of a dense character to it. But to get a Fox and Odin, you got to pay about $100. This is about little more than half the price. So yeah, that's right. This barrel, this is good. Every time I go back to it, it's also got like this coffee latte cinnamon type of vibe to it, like a cappuccino. Every time I bring my nose up to it, I get like coffee bean, I get a little bit of a latte. This is good. Okay. I actually don't know which one I like more. For the price, I like the Barrell one quite a bit. Versus the Fox and Odin. You know, the Fox and Odin I love, obviously, but again, it's $99. Hey, Veronica, nice to see you. Veronica Estock is here. SoCal Jake is here. We got over 300 already, guys. Thanks so much for stopping in. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate it. I think the Barrell actually has a little bit more spice to it. I think that allspice nutmeg combination on the back end is what's putting it over. It's crazy. Yeah. Triple base is coming. Quadruple base maybe is coming with all these bottles. I'm curious how this does against those others. Yeah, for sure. This is really good. Great release from Barrell. I think they absolutely killed it with this one, especially for the price point, 100 proof. I mean, you're coming to the market nowadays. This is what people want. You want a really good. People love double oaked. Drinkers love double oak products, especially when they're dark, they're sweet, they're delicious. Not super high proof either. I think this is a home run for them. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, Barrell did send me this bottle, but you know, again, always trying to be honest with you guys. And this is probably one of the more favorable releases I've had recently from them. Like I said, I really don't like the New Year releases usually ever for whatever reason that is. Their bourbon releases can be really hit and miss, especially those blends. But this is a really nice release. So yeah, full review coming soon on that. All right. So let me put that aside. Now, real quick, I do want to get into this bottle right here. So Penelope did send me this. This is Penelope's new 17-year American light whiskey. We just have DWS, a new member here in the Drumline. Thank you so much for joining up. Let's go to the bottle cam. There it is, 17-year American light whiskey. Right there says limited release on it. Now, again, light whiskey has pretty much grown in popularity, or I should say it's kind of made a resurrection. Remember, light whiskey was something that was created back in the 80s when nobody was drinking bourbon anymore and everybody was drinking, you know, clear spirits. They were moving towards vodka and those types of drinks. So they made light whiskey to give it literally a lighter color. You know, it's not half the calories of your regular whiskey, but it is lighter in color. But over the years, as nobody bought it, those casks sat. Typically, mainly from MGP, but Old Forester had a light whiskey, which I heard was pretty gross. But this one is one of those high age stated light whiskeys that people have grown to love. We've seen a lot of different releases of this. Now, for those of you that do not know why it's called light whiskey is essentially a higher corn mash bill. So you're looking at 99 corn, 1% malted barley, which is, you know, pretty much, I'm not going to say it's opposite, but it's definitely a high corn mash bill because they want it to be as sweet as possible, which again was to go against some of those, you know, vodka and, you know, what do you call wine cooler drinkers from back in the day in the 80s when no one wanted to drink bourbon anymore. And the reason why they can't call it bourbon is because it's usually aged in a used barrel. That's why you see all these high age statements. It's also distilled as past 160, which is the legal limit for bourbon. So it's a higher it's a higher alcohol content off the still. So that's why you see some of these light whiskeys that come out of the barrel, you know, being, you know, hazmat or even higher sometimes. So this one is proof down to about, let's see, this is actually close to hazmat. This is 138.8. I didn't even realize it was that high, but we're going to try it. I don't want to blow my palate out here, but light whiskey is pretty typical from, drink to drink. Sometimes the only differences I really find in light whiskey is sometimes you find light whiskeys that that have a little bit more of a heavier oak profile. Like it was in those barrels, they used barrel for quite a while, and it just picked up some more oak than other light whiskeys that I've tried. This one looks still pretty light, but we'll see what we have here. Cold Schlager, probably going to be a hot one. I definitely want to be that Penelope. Definitely want to get that Penelope, says Richie Z. Penelope has a way of, now Penelope is sourcing this from MGP. MGP, probably the kings of light whiskey. They have a ton of it. Also, Canada has a good amount of light whiskey. But let's give this one a try. It's liquid candy. It is liquid candy. This is pretty tropical. Pineapple, hints of coconut here. Toasted coconut. I think a little bit of that barrel char is in there, which kind of gives it that toasted coconut vibe. But it also has a lot of heavy vanillas, a lot of sweetness. I mean, I'm not going to say butterscotch because I don't think it has like that velvety, silky butterscotch note that I love to find. But the flavors here are pretty tropical forward. Like I said, again, pineapple, coconut, a little bit of maple syrup in there too. Yeah, 136 proof. Actually drinks lighter than that. Jay Will Drink says, I grabbed a Starlight light whiskey pick, but haven't opened it under 10 years. Wow, under 10? I don't think I've seen many light whiskeys under 10 years old. That's crazy. Wonder where they got that. Yeah, light whiskey, Richie Z, you hit it on the head. It's usually not that complex, but it is liquid candy, and that's why people love it. I feel like even at 136 proof, you could drop a big ice cube in a glass, let it really water down a little bit, and it's just like drinking candy. Light whiskey has always been a mood pour for me, but light whiskey is also used in a lot of blends these days. You see people that want to blend, bourbons and ryes together or different types of bourbons. Light whiskey is usually used to kind of help bridge that gap a little bit. And I could see why it would do that. You kind of have a high proofer that's not too oaky, but it's a little bit more on the sweet side, kind of bridging that gap between a bourbon and a rye. I've toyed around with blending some of this stuff, and it definitely does something to blends that can, now, on the flip side of that, if you add it to the wrong blend, it could definitely ruin it. But if you use light whiskey in the right way in blends, it could really just amp up the flavors, amp up the sweetness of any blend that you kind of are trying to mess with. But yeah, this is pretty typical what you get in a light whiskey. 17 years old. I think the price of this one is going to be 100 or sub 100. It's not going to be that much. So again, Penelope with a great price point here. So yeah, if you're interested in those flavors, check out the American light whiskey. Again, 17 years old. Just liquid candy, guys. I mean, that's what it is. All right, so now we're going to get into something pretty cool here. Then we'll go through a little bit of news. Not that many news stories here, but this is pretty cool. So a little over 2 years ago, I went to Sagamore Spirit. I was invited to Sagamore by Mr. BT in the chat, and he was gracious enough to kind of offer an experience. So I was able to go there and distill my own mash bill. So come up with my own mash bill, whatever I wanted that to be, make a rye and a bourbon mash bill. So I went there for 2 days. I worked in the experimental distillery, learned how to distill a little bit, not really learn how to distill, but really kind of go through the steps of how to make a mash bill and how to make new make, distilling, letting it go overnight, seeing what that looks like, rye versus bourbon, and all the different intricacies in between, adding enzymes, checking proof, checking for checking pH levels constantly. It was really an immersive learning experience, and I loved every minute of it. But this is what came out. So this was the original new make that came off the still, which in the beginning, my bourbon came off at 120 120.84 proof. And my rye came off at 120.1 on the dot. So this is the original new make bottles. So this is what I got to taste. Yeah, it definitely needs to age a little longer. So these have been in the barrels for 2 years, little over 2 years, actually. And I just got samples from Sagamore. And now, after 2 years, here are my samples. So as you can see, the color has really taken to the new make. Here is the bourbon, and they proofed it, and it's still about 120. It's 120.9 right now. And then here is the rye. Now the rye is 120 as well, 120.7. Now the interesting thing is that I don't really know where these are aged at Sagamore. I don't know what rick house it is. I don't know if it's a high rick, a low rick. I'm not really sure where they're aging it, but this is pretty cool. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do. And I haven't tried this new make in over a year. So now I get to try it at 2 years old a little bit. So let's try it. I'm excited about this one. The bourbon, I don't have high hopes for. Bourbon, usually at 2 years old, it's going to taste grainy, but it's going to, you know, we'll see. We'll see if there's some hopeful flavors in here. Now the rye. Now, ryes tend to age a little faster. They do a little better at a younger age. So maybe the rye is a little bit better than I think it's going to be. So we'll see. Only 10 more years to yeah, exactly. Only 10 more years to go. When I'm an old man, we'll be ready to be released. That looks yummy. Aging it up, but yeah, it's aging up. It's actually Buffalo Sagamore. Not really sure. Saga turkey, Saga Buffalo. Yes, let's start all the rumors. All right, let's try. Oh, sorry. I guess I hit the mute button by accident. Sorry. Yeah, when I move the mic, I hit the mute button. There's a button right here on top. So yeah, and the weird thing is like I don't know, like with these barrels from Sagamore, like once they age up, like what happens to them? Do I get them to release? Is Sagamore going to release it? I don't know. So we'll see. Okay. Real quick, just to kind of go through a few news stories here, because I got my guests. They're going to be coming on here soon. We just talked about it. This bottle, the Heaven Hill, officially announced today, or actually not today, but I think, when was it? February 4th, yesterday. Heaven Hill 2025 Heritage Collection release is a wheat whiskey that's nearly 2 decades old. So 19 years old. Heaven Hill announced the release of the 2025 Heritage Collection, a 19-year-old wheat whiskey. Heaven Hill shared that this is the oldest wheat whiskey release from the brand to date and has a suggested retail price of, wow, pricier than I thought it would be. $299.99. I don't know why I thought this would be $250, but an extra $50 to that $300 price mark, that's a lot. The whiskey is derived from a mash bill of 51% wheat, 37% corn, and 12% malted barley, and is bottled in 100 proof. Just 277 barrels were made in August and September of 2005. The barrel spent 19 years aging on the 5th and 6th floors of Rickhouse Y. So, man, I'll get back to that in a second. This is a especially unique product with the mash bill at this age, offers an exceptional depth and complexity that is rarely seen, said Master Distiller Connor O'Driscoll. This whiskey is housed in a box with Heaven Hill signature blue color. All information such as the production date and mash bill information and warehouse location is also included in the packaging. Heaven Hill shared that it intends to ship out its orders in March of 2025. As far as taste profile goes, just to kind of give you guys an idea, it says cinnamon, graham cracker, coupled with rich, sweet flavors. So not really a lot to go on there. Finish of warm maple syrup and caramel, coupled with tannins. So there you go. What do you guys think of the price point on that one? I'm just curious. Do you think that 300 is a little bit too much, or 19-year wheat whiskey, is that something you're still interested in? Just given the market, I always like to get a pulse for this stuff with you guys, see what you guys are thinking, what you're feeling about that one. A little bit expensive for me, just being honest about it. That's fair, Beard Zone. What bottle can I get from my Weller single barrel in a trade? Says Gerard Wright. I don't know. You get a lot of things that are better, if that makes sense. Honestly, man, I would throw that in a trade with some cash for a George T. Stack from last year. Boo on that price point and no go. More than I would spend. Save the wheat for cereal. I want more rye. It'll be 900 secondary. It'll probably be more than that at first. It's always weird to see how the wheat whiskeys do. I mean, I know there's a certain cachet to a Heaven Hill Heritage Collection bottle that, will garner a lot of aftermarket, price increases. However, what we did see with the 20-year mellow corn release that they did, that price came down substantially after a month or two. I think once the kind of the reviews got out, people just kind of, I don't know, it fell down a lot. It'll be interesting to see if it happens with this. But again, if reviews start going out that it's amazing, obviously those prices will hold. One of the first really high-age wheat whiskeys, though. Yeah, that's the thing, Aaron. I think it makes me curious about it. Hopefully, I do get a sample here soon from Heaven Hill, do a quick video on it. But I would love to taste it, obviously. But $300 definitely is a lot to ask. The one thing that bothers me is, I said I'd come back to this point. What did it say? Floor 4 and 6. So those are pretty high floors. Now, as someone who doesn't know a ton about how wheat whiskey tends to age, do the alcohol levels really drive up as it gets higher? Does it take longer than a typical, mash bill to get those alcohol levels up a little bit? But it's proof down to 100. I'm wondering what those barrels kind of started at. Did we get some really high numbers to that regard? But they chose to proof it down to 100. Now, whether that was best for the whiskey or best for business, we don't know. That's always kind of the game you got to play. I'll trade for two pirate bottles all day long. Oh yeah, that's a Weller single barrel. You could definitely get a good pirate bottle for that from Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof batches 8 through 12 for the pirate bottle releases. Try to find one of those. I hope to get a JD 14. Me too, man. I hope to get one of those. Never going to get it. Not sad. We'll see. Okay. Waiting for my guest to pop up on the back end here. We'll see. I think some people guessed what it is. Or who they are, I should say. Not what they are, but who they are. All right. What's to see on the TTB? We have Penelope coming in with Chapter 1. It looks like this is their limited release Chapter 1. Now, it's an American whiskey. Not exactly sure what's in here, but here we are. So this is what we got from Penelope coming out. Not really sure the details of this one quite yet, but I love the look of the label. That's pretty cool looking. Also, President's Choice. Everybody's so used to the President's Choice from Old Forester being a bourbon. This is a rye. They're bringing out a President's Choice rye whiskey. And it looks like it's going to kind of garner the same look that it has for the bourbon, except a green border there, which is pretty cool. Also, we saw 1792 is coming out with a cognac cask finish, which interesting. Now, you guys remember the port finish. Now, the port finish released way back in 2015. And every now and again, those port finishes pop up on secondary for about $300. People still interested in it. Here's the back of the cognac cask finish label. Now, this is interesting because 1792 already makes a cognac finish whiskey, and it's the Thomas More. It's the Thomas More cognac finish, but nobody seems to care about that one. So I feel like, are they allocating now that whiskey to go into the 1792? Now, there's different proof points here. The Thomas S. More is 93.4, whereas this one, now, again, if this is the actual label, it says, what does that say? 95 proof. So just a touch higher. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes. It's been a long wait since we've seen anything really new from 1792 come out. Again, owned by Sazerac. We have the next Boss Hog that's been kind of revealed here. Feather and Flame. Number 12 for the Boss Hog. aged in Curaçao de Cacao barrels. So chocolate. That's going to be one chocolatey rye whiskey. That's what it sounds like. So, yeah, if you like chocolatey ryes, that Boss Hog, even though it's going to cost you about $600 or $700 to get, that basically sounds like what that's going to look like. And the label that set the world on fire this week, Eagle Rare 12-year. This Eagle Rare 12-year. I had people messaging me up and down this week that said, "Is this real? Is this a fake? Is this April Fool's?" I'm like, dude, it's not April yet. So this Eagle Rare 12-year. Now, if you look at the proof point on the bottom, I think it says 94, 95 proof. So it's a touch higher. It's 2 years older and a touch older and a touch higher in proof point. So if you look at the back of the label here, Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey, it kind of gives all the details, age 12 years. This one is going to go crazy when it drops. We don't know when it's going to drop. Being that it's with the TTB right now, we're probably looking anywhere from 6 to 8 months before we see this. But I mean, so here's the big question everyone's been asking me. Is this just going to be a new release, or is this going to replace the Eagle Rare 10-year that we have now? I would find it hard to believe that it's going to replace the 10-year, given that the 10-year has been such a workhorse for them for so long. But the 12-year, I think, as a limited release and just to make more Buffalo Trace fans and flippers go nuts, that one will fly off the shelves, obviously. And, you know, who knows what the price point on that will be, given that retail, at least here in Ohio, Eagle Rare is about $46, I think, for retail. Eagle Rare 12, we don't know what that price point is going to be. Will it be 100? Will it be 75? Will they keep it somewhat affordable, just a tick higher than the regular 10-year? Or are they going to really max it out and, you know, go up to 150, 200 or something like that? I don't see that happening, given that that would be a higher price than what the BTAC Eagle Rare 17-year is. So I feel like it'll be a good price point. But to replace the 10-year, I don't know if I see that happening. We have seen Buffalo Trace doing a bunch of expansions over the last several years. A lot of their whiskeys are coming up to age. Honestly, I'm excited for this one, but it also kind of just pisses me off sometimes, because I want Eagle Rare to be more available in places rather than you bring out another different age statement. And I think that was kind of the number one complaint from people. It's like, why are you coming out with a 12-year? Why don't you just make the 10-year more available? Maybe we don't know what their stocks are. Maybe they have a lot of 12-year laying around and they just said, okay, let's do an Eagle Rare. Let's proof it down, get a bunch of bottles out there, special release, gazillion dollars, boom, done. Thank you very much. Buffalo Trace. Anything Buffalo Trace puts out, people are going to go bananas for. It's just what happens. So, and that is the end of the news. All right, guys. So, we got a lot of people. 12 times, I won't see it. Man, I wish that ER12 would be at least 100, 105 proof. John McFarland says SLB for life. Mavs traded a GTS to the Lakers for Stag Jr. There you go. Eagle Rare cast strength. That'd be kind of cool. Stop sending shit to foreign markets, says Aaron C. Well, all right. Let's try this new make and see how I did after 2 years. And then we'll get into Blendageddon here. Here we go. This is the rye, right? Yeah. Man, I got to say the rye, I mean, yeah, it smells young, but the rye actually already has a little bit of floral and milk chocolate on it. Now, I did use malted rye in this. I wanted to use a malted rye mash bill. All right, let me give this a try. I'm actually really psyched about that one. The malted rye, it gives it such a velvety mouthfeel, and it's already chocolatey for 2 years. That could be a really deep, rich rye whiskey, which is what I wanted. It's got a nice little spice in the end. Okay. I'm digging this. All right, let's get into the bourbon here. The bourbon I feel is going to be way worse, but we'll see. Actually, the bourbon's coming off a lot sweeter than I thought it would. This has a ton of vanilla, caramel. Little chocolate is here. Little chocolate as well here. All right, let's try the bourbon. I mean, I don't hate it, but it needs more time. It needs way more time. I think the rye is actually right where I thought it would be at about 2 years, which is, that's pretty cool. That gives me a lot of hope for that one. The bourbon, on the other hand, yeah, the bourbon just needs more time. 2 years, it's just not going to happen. I think I have about 77% corn in here for the mash bill. So yeah. Brian Callahan. Yeah, sorry, I do chew my whiskey a little bit. If you're hearing it, my bad. Cheers, Phil and Julie, sipping in some rare breed. The bourbon van is here. What? Phil and Julie from the Bourbon Van here. One of my favorite channels, guys. Give them a subscribe. Bourbon Van. Thank you so much for being here. Blake Harris here. This is awesome. Okay. Yeah, the rye is definitely a spicy meatball. And then you have the bourbon just needs some more time. But again, it's promising what's in both of these glasses. I'll have to let these sit and kind of dive in a little bit more. But all right, guys, it's time. Because, you know, I definitely want to bring my guest judges on, talk to them a little bit. It's the first time they've been on the show. If you guys saw the thumbnail, maybe you have your guesses already of who it could be. But it's that time because it is semifinals week in Blendageddon. That's right. After going through 35 blends, these are the 6 of the 12 that made it through to the semifinals before we go to the actual finals, which will be TBD, where we'll do our fundraiser again for the victims of LA as we do a fundraiser for a bunch of bottles, bunch of giveaways. We raised about $16,000 last year, $22,000 a year before. So we'll see what we do this year in helping all those fire victims in California this year. So get ready, buckle up. Here we go. We're about to welcome in our new guest judges. But before we do that, it's time to get pumped. Good luck to the blenders. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome to the show a channel that I've been watching for quite a while here, admiring their work. 2 guys that I think are doing some incredible videos and content on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, from SLB Drinks, tonight's special guest judges, Kurt and Trent.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on, Jason?
What is going on, you 2 beautiful fellas?
I'm a little irritated right now, Jason. Trent didn't tell me I'd be showing off my leisure pants here. My bad. I would have dressed up more for you, but you know that.
Come on, Kurt. You gotta. You know, I can appreciate that they're plaid, so that's not bad.
They do look good, man. I'm telling you.
I rock them. There's no doubt about it. I rock them.
So, guys, I want to really thank you for coming on here tonight and helping me out. I know it was kind of a last minute. You know, I'm like, I got to get SLB on here to see if we could go with these blends. So I really appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me tonight. It's the first time you've been on. First time I really collabed ever. So for those of the folks that don't know you, which is probably hard to believe, but tell us a little bit about yourselves and your channel.
That's kind of a loaded question. I'll let you go first.
Thank you. It was kind of like a hop, skip, and a jump fall kind of thing. Jason, we built the house 10 years ago. When we moved in, we had 4 out of our 5 kids living here. We barely got in here in the basement. We had a bedroom down here and a living space and a bathroom. Miraculously, in about 3 or 4 years after that, most all of them moved out. It was a happy day here for a while.
For a little while?
Yeah, we were able to save a little bit of money. And I'd already had the bar area roughed in for future. So we built that out. And at that time, Jason, honestly, I was just studying up on cocktails and that nature. If people came over, I could serve up a proper cocktail. My brother, Kent, if you ever tune into our live streams, he usually catches us there. He travels with us once in a while when his schedule allows for barrel picks and so forth. So he's a big part of the channel.
Yep.
He was into bourbon at that point in time. So he kind of swayed me into that territory. Trenton came up to me one day and he's like, "Hey, let's start a YouTube channel."
You always mess that part up. No, okay, listen.
No, it's true. That's what it is.
He filmed a video for Facebook, and his head was half cut off. He had his thumb over the mic on the bottom, so he couldn't even understand what he was saying. And I was like, "Bro, come on, we got to do a little bit better than this." And that's how it started. He likes to tell it a little bit differently, but
I could see this is kind of a recurring conversation you guys always have to keep bringing up.
It is.
Yeah.
So Trent said, "Hey, let's start a YouTube channel." Jason, I'm a drywall contractor. Been that my whole life. My dad was a drywaller 40-some years. I could barely operate my phone, buddy. Honestly, that's just me. That's who it is.
That's still true.
And that is very true. I call Trenton or Kyle or somebody, one of my kids, if I have a problem with it. I'm that guy. So he says, "Let's start." I said, "I don't know nothing about it." He said, "You let me handle all that stuff. All you got to do is this." I said, "Well, I can do that." That's how. So we started doing some cocktails. It was a struggle for a while. I mean, we just had fun with it basically, and it was a slow roll. So at that point, I probably accumulated maybe 30 bottles of bourbon or so. And Trenton's like,
"That's it?"
I don't know.
Probably more than that.
I don't remember, but Trent, so let's try to dip into a little bit of bourbon. And this is the God's honest truth, Jason. Honest truth. At that point, I was like, bro, I'm a little bit nervous about that because I am in no way, shape, or form a professional on that level. And truthfully, Jason, when it comes from us here at SLB, we consider you one of those folks, a true professional that is part of our whiskey tube, and we need them, and you're one of them.
I appreciate that.
We're not one of those guys. But I said, well, as long as we can be completely honest about that and just have fun with it, then I will. Trent, "Oh, yeah, that's fine. So that's how it started. Kind of got on a roll, did pretty well with it. And then when Trenton came back by the camera, just the chemistry we have, the goofing off, what we're doing right here is what we do every time we're together, all the kids, and it's just a good time. And I really feel that, as you say, whiskey's for sharing. We feel the same way. Drink what you like the way you like it.
Yep.
We're in here to share it together, have fun, and that's just what we do on the channel. We just have a good
and I think that's what actually makes you guys so entertaining, and I guess to some folks endearing to watch. Not only the father-son connection, but also the back and forth that you guys have. But really, what I wanted to highlight, I don't know if a lot of people in the chat know this, is all the giving back you guys do. I'm a big believer in that. Look, we sip whiskey on YouTube, and
it's a tough job, man. Somebody's got to do it.
It's a tough job. I have met some of the greatest people in the world, been very fortunate enough to, have a little bit more of a lucrative advantage, at times with whiskeys. And I think that helps in giving back. And, for a lot of people, I've seen a lot of whiskey tubers that don't do that. But the ones that do, and you guys are a big part of it, that are able to give back because of the success that you've had, I really appreciate that. So thanks and cheers to you two for that.
Yeah, definitely a community effort. For sure.
Yep, for sure. Kudos to the Master Drum for shouting at SLB charitable donor. Yeah, I think what they do charitable wise is great. Yeah, I'm gearing up to do a big charitable fundraiser here for the LA fire victims. Once Blendageddon hits the finals, usually you get Fred Minnick on and maybe Matt from ADHD Whiskey to kind of do the finals, and we pick a winner, and usually we drive up some money to give back in the meantime. So it's always a good time. Yeah. So all right, guys. So do you kind of get the gist of the letter I put in your box that you got?
Absolutely.
I didn't even read it.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I didn't really share them. As long as I know we're good, Jason.
As long as
I'm here to taste something, and that's usually what I show up to do anyway. So it's nothing new.
I got all the glasses here in front of us all lined up. Now I kept them lettered. Are you going with letters? Because that's how you sent them to me.
Yeah. So we're just going to do it in order. Now they've been poured blind, A through F. We have 6 different glasses. Basically, what we're going to do, we're going to go through each. Yeah, we're going to go through each one, A, B, C, D, E, F. Right. And what we're going to do is just rate them. What is in these glasses is kind of a culmination of a bunch of different Patreons, a bunch of different viewers that do home blends. Now the rules were pretty simple. Make a blend of whatever you want. The only rule is that there's no store picks and no group picks that were allowed in the blending. We want to try to make it to a point where you can maybe replicate the winning blend at home if you can. Now, sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes these guys will throw like a stag in there just to have fun with it. But I mean, if they want to blend with something like that, that is up to them. Right. But basically, these are the 6. Now, let me show you the bracket here. So this is how many blends were in it in the beginning.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and so we went through 6 weeks of blends. Took a little while to get there, but now we are on the left side of the bracket. Okay. So the left side of the bracket there, that's whose blends we are tasting. They are in random order, and we are going to pick our top 2 that we collectively love, and then what will happen is those 2 blends will go to the finals. Nice. So that's all we got to do, guys. So just tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and as we're talking through this and talking through the blends, we can just chat it up and hang out. This will be fun.
Quick question for you, Jason. Did you limit folks on how many whiskeys they can put in a blend?
Nope.
Okay.
As long as they're American whiskeys, as long as they're bourbons, rye, you can use light whiskey, but they have to be American whiskeys and no group or store picks. That was really the only guidelines I gave them. So
beautiful.
Okay.
All right, fellas, you ready for letter A?
Yeah, we got A.
Cheers. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on in such short notice. I appreciate it, guys.
Dude,
anytime. This one's pretty good.
That's like creamy smelling.
It's like creamsicle.
It kind of is.
Yeah, so this side of the bracket, I will say, when we kind of saw the names that were piling up to be in this bracket, all of these blenders had really, really good blends. Now it's going to be interesting to see how the blends go up against each other. And on top of that, these blends have been sitting for, another few weeks.
Right.
So now it's, have they gotten worse? Have they gotten better? You just need to know with blends sometimes. So
yes, sir.
Are some of the folks that are in like the top so far, or were they in it last year?
Yep.
Okay. So we got some experienced veterans in here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Were they the same ones?
So the champion that won last year, Darrell Stewart, he's actually on the other side of the bracket, and he'll go next week. So, yep. Virginia Rose says, Jason, you're about to hear some weird notes. Oh, I've watched their videos. I know what they bring.
Dude, this is like a cream. This smells like a creamsicle, though. Like it really does.
It does. It's very creamy. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh man, we already have some trash talk in the chat, which I love.
That's incredible. That's juicy.
Dude, it is juicy.
Man.
Yeah, it's extremely. I agree. It's very fruit forward. I get orange, apricot, and I also get some caramel apple in here.
Beautiful.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Wow. That's a nice proof point.
Wow, dude. That's the first blend. Jesus.
I know. Come on, Jason. Seriously? Wow. Holy cow.
I get a little bit of like a mintiness in it. Like there might be some rye in this.
Yeah, that's actually good notes to capture. If you think that this is what will happen. Any ones that get eliminated tonight, we actually open the envelope and we find out what's in the blend. So if you want to do some investigating and you think you could kind of call out what's in these blends, feel free.
I'm all for calling stuff out. I'm usually wrong anyway, so it doesn't hurt my feelings when I am.
don't usually have that kind of confidence, Jason. I kind of stay quiet.
Is it confident if you know that you're going to be wrong?
It's possible.
Or is that just like stupidity?
I actually think that's smart. Oh, man.
Man, that was a strong start. I will tell you that.
Picturing a band called the Bourboneros with some of the Whiskey Tube creators as the bourbon coach. Oh, man. Carlos Garcia says, no, it's called being a loser.
That doesn't surprise me. Okay.
Brad Bursma, preemptive starter therapy fund for Jason after spending an evening navigating Trenton's tasting notes. Thank you so much, Brad.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Like Brad.
Trent says Trent likes eating shoes. What is happening in the chat?
Yeah.
It's usually not good.
Yeah, good luck, Jason. You know,
we need a collab barrel pick between these guys. I would love to do that.
Dude, that'd be awesome. We go. Oh, I'm just gonna give you this one. I'm not giving you your glass. Sorry, is that gonna throw you off?
Yeah.
Here, we'll switch.
Yeah, come on.
I don't want to give you bad juju or anything.
Jeez, I'm crying it.
Yeah, A is just it's an incredibly, it's very rich, it's dense, it's spicy, right a little bit on the back end. It's also got, again, that citrus toffee caramel apple note, which I love.
Beautiful, man. It's just beautiful.
Yep.
There's some like drying aspect or something on the end that I'm getting. It's still really good.
Yeah.
But there's something on the end that I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know if it's astringency. I don't know if it's I'm just, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, again, I think it could be, again, whatever's bringing that spice punch on the back end, whether it be a rye or maybe something high proof. I do think there's a little bit of a drying aspect to it. I do agree with that. SLB told me to be here, says Tim Lewis.
I might have told people if they don't join, they're going to get banned. So there's that.
Well, if it's your first time here, guys, hit that subscribe button below. I am definitely trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for the support. Trent also smells a lot of shoe rubber and asparagus, says Chris Hoover. Wow.
Hoover.
I eat a lot of asparagus. What's wrong with asparagus?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Your pee must be nasty.
No, it's usually really bad. And it hits within like an hour. It's not a slow process.
It doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't.
So already one is kind of a favorite for you guys, right?
It's kind of in there. I mean, I didn't get any real deep, dark, rich flavors, but all those fruity notes were there. They were just luscious. That caramel note, that real rye or possible rye with that bite there, really does a number for me. It was great. Whoever made that blend, congratulations. That's fantastic.
I'm hoping that one and everything else after this is going to be subsequently better.
So Whiskey Knows, Mr. Marty Party says Kurt is the godfather, not the grandfather of Whiskey Tube. Cheers, Kurt.
I don't know. I've been called both, Jason. That's fine.
All right, let's go to letter B. Let's see what we got here in letter B.
All right.
Dude, that's good too. That's cherry in there.
I smell straight up maple syrup and pancakes. Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's freaking good.
That's so good. Yeah.
Do you blend a lot of stuff at home?
I do.
We don't do that. We should do that more.
We don't.
We really don't.
I
think
when I do blind tastings, like when you guys do like your, you kind of do your blind tasting, you have 3 or 4 glasses.
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing, and I'll just take all 4 and I'll blend them just to see how it tastes. If it tastes like shit or it tastes really good, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time, it does not work. But every now and again, you come across a good blend. You never know.
Yep.
Kurt gives quintessential notes. Trenton gives pencil shavings and sweet tarts, says Top Jimmy.
Not half. That's not half.
I think I've heard you say the pencil shavings one before, Trent.
Oh, yeah.
That is not, but that, honestly, listen, whoever makes you feel bad about that, it's a very common note. And also not only pencil shavings, but eraser. I've seen people say eraser a lot.
It's one of those things where before we started YouTube, like I think it was because like we were living in the same house and you were watching that stuff. So YouTube's algorithm or whatever was like pushing stuff based on the IP address it was watched in, whatever. So I was getting Scotch videos and I would watch these guys and it was like, I think it was like Ralphie, a couple other guys. They would just say it was like burnt tires and like Band-Aid and stuff. And I'm like, why would anybody want to drink something that tastes like that? Mom still says that, but I get it now, because it's like kind of like a Band-Aid, but it's not like you just ripped off a Band-Aid of somebody and ate it, you know? Yeah, well, I know I've never actually done that before.
I'm shocked.
But no, I feel like pencil shavings is a note that you get sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah, pencil shavings, and I think Tim Cornay in the chat, he also said sometimes you get like magic marker or like Sharpie marker, which you get as well. I kind of go that falls along the same line. Yeah. Usually it's a very astringent type of whiskey that comes off with those notes. We got, let's see, Bourbon for Bacon's here. Black Bourbon Family is here. Nice to see you, Jason and Brandy. Mr. Great Shot. Be honest, Trenton, just choose on pencils.
That's possible.
I did do that a lot in school.
All right, guys, let's dive into letter B here. Let's see what we get.
I don't think the nose is as pronounced on B as it is on A.
Ooh.
Okay, what is that?
You're killing us, Jason. Honestly.
This is good, isn't it?
Really good.
This goes from, I almost get like that fruit cup syrupy sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But on the front end, that's on the back end. The front end is almost, I get kind of a little bit of a funky oak note, which is interesting how it kind of takes you a little bit of a ride.
That like fruit cocktail syrup.
Yep.
A fantastic note.
Yep.
That is so on point. And it's like viscous like that too. Yeah,
I was going to say this is really syrupy.
It is.
Which I love. Drifting Drams is here. So is Katie Turk. Nice to see you guys. JC has the best palate, even if he has eliminated my blend this year. Hit the sub. Sorry, Jay.
You have that.
It's. I feel like this one's kind of drying on the end too.
Yeah, a little bit.
But like overall, I feel like this one for me, it's not too complex. It's really sweet. It's got a nice viscosity. It's a little bit dry at the end. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't quite say it's a one-noter, but it doesn't go like more than this like fruit cocktail type of a palate. I feel like there's not much of a progression throughout. Like A.
What do you think, Kurt? What are your feelings on number 2 here?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it stacks up quite as good as A at this point. But
I think what B has the viscosity and it's got the sweetness, but
yes,
I do agree. I think it doesn't have the balance of spice that A has.
Yeah.
Randall Erickson, why does Kurt and Trent remind me of Siskel and Ebert of whiskey evaluations?
Should I know what that is?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We've been talking about.
Somebody's going to clip that. Wow, that's awesome.
Ebert did.
What is that?
Did movie reviews back in the day.
Yeah. Carlos is going to be like, "Oh, get out of your bubble or whatever, dude. Be quiet."
Jason, when is the Barrel King news going to come out? That's so probably early next week. We were trying to shoot for this week, but looks like next week the press release will come out. So more to come on that. If you guys follow Bourbon and Bourbon, we kind of saw something happen, but we'll get into more of that probably next week.
I'm curious to see what that's all about. All right.
Let's go to letter C. Let's see what we got here.
Dude, these are off to a really. We need to do more blends at home. You get into like blends with some like American single malts and stuff. Yeah. You could really cook up some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Have you dipped into American single malts much, Jason?
I have. Some of my favorites are out west. I think a couple on the East Coast. Really quick, John McFarlane. I'm just here for Matt Karen memes and Hoover super chats, and I don't want to get banned. Okay, John. We have 450 people in the chat. This is crazy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. So American single malt wise, some of my favorites have been McCarthy's out in Oregon. Yeah. Cedar Ridge, the Cedar Ridge Quintessential, I think is one of the best American single malts being made right now.
Love it.
On top of that, I would put Old Line in that category out of Maryland.
Yep.
Old Line's doing incredible work. Also Westward. That Westward milestone last year was ridiculous.
I would inject it into my veins if I could. It was that good.
Yeah. That thing was pretty crazy. Old Line, McCarthy, Cedar Ridge, and this is the point that I've been making about American single malts. I think that Kentucky distillers have been kind of jumping on that train, but they've been releasing younger versions of what American single malts, are. And I think it's, people that follow Kentucky bourbon, I feel like it's kind of giving them a bad rap because they're not nearly as good as the stuff we've been seeing outside of Kentucky.
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. I just received a new bottle today in the mail from Old Line, their single barrel.
Yeah.
Fabulous, man.
Yeah. I mean, Old Line, yeah. But
$70.
I think the first ever American single malt I was really blown away by was from Cedar Ridge. Their stuff is incredible. So,
yep.
And the price on that stuff is just there's just everything to love about Cedar Ridge single malts.
Yeah. I might be there this month here at Cedar Ridge.
You'll have a great time.
We'll see. I've been there once before. We did 2 picks a couple years ago. We did a double oak that people thought was one of the most underrated double oaks we've ever done, and people loved it. So we want to go back there and see what else they have in store.
Yeah, you should.
I'm getting like an almost, it's reminding me of similar to like a Twizzler, like vaguely artificial, like strawberry or like a cherry note or something. It's faint though.
Yeah, I definitely can see the strawberry, which makes me think weeder immediately on this. Maybe there's a weeded bourbon in here. Dave Renstrom says, love Cedar Ridge's quintessential, including the shelf version. I have 6. Would highly recommend the Beverly Quintessential Edition. Dave, I just got one of the releases a couple months ago was they had an All-American Oak ex-bourbon, and it's friggin' delicious. So, yep. Jason C., take us to Cedar Ridge with you, says Tiffany Phillips Weber. Yeah, Tiffany, I mean, we'll get the schedules out. If you want to help us with a pick, that could be a lot of fun.
Can you say that louder so everybody can hear it?
What did you say?
No, what did you say?
It's almost like a strawberry silly putty. Jason, you might remember silly putty back in the day.
I remember silly putty.
I used to chew on it.
But it looked like it was a strawberry hint to it.
Yeah, dude, I get it.
All right, let me give this a try here.
I get it.
Ooh, that got a little funky.
No doubt. That strawberry went away for me, Jason. I don't know if it did.
Oh, yeah, it went away real quick.
Yes, sir.
It was there.
Huh. Beer Zone says, I love the high malt Chattanooga whiskey. I could be biased because I live in Chattanooga. Yeah, Beer Zone, I've loved Chattanooga for a long time. That chocolatey, almost coffee vibe that they give with their high malt whiskeys, I think is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Harris says, Jason, tell SLB what you thought of ECBP A125. SLB loved it. Yeah, wasn't a big fan of that one from my standpoint. I don't know. I think I have a very I think I'm pretty critical of Elijah Craig barrel proofs to this point.
I watched your show on that one. I watched your review.
It's a low. I mean, it's a low proofer, but I mean, some of their low proofers that I've had have even been really good. Right. Mine just came off a little bit flat. I don't know, maybe because I'm always looking for like that big burst of whether it be oak, cherry, vanilla. But I wasn't a fan of A125. I'm hoping B will be a lot better.
We made it very clear. It doesn't stack up to some of their better ones, but me personally. And I know I'm outweighed by quite a few folks in the bourbon community, but me personally, I really enjoy a little bit lower proofs like that.
I think when the first lower proof came out, which is what I compared it to, people were kind of like, it's getting too low a proof now. But once people had it, it was kind of a pleasant surprise. Mm-hmm. But now you strip the 12-year age statement off it, and it becomes the lowest age statement that we've seen since they did that at 10 years, 7 months.
Yeah.
And then it's the lowest proof on top of that. Mm-hmm. Like people just look at it differently now. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's just kind of an interesting, back and forth between the original and the new one.
Yeah. This one, Jason, falls a little flat for me, my man.
Yeah, me too. I'm not too crazy about this one compared to A and B so far. This one, the nose for me I like the nose a lot, but the palate doesn't stack up.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to pick up much on the palate, right? Outside of like a nice sweetness, a little bit of oakiness. Yeah, it's like an initial burst of like a fruitiness, but like after it's like fruit stripe gum. After like a second, it's just what's happening with all of these things that are popping up. I'm not doing a thumbs up.
Do you have are you on a Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Mac was doing that too. It's the FaceTime camera. If you're using the FaceTime camera, it'll automatically do that. I mean, you could turn it off and on if you want, but I had that on this when I first got this laptop, and I was like, what the hell is happening? What's going on? So you're going through the same thing. Yeah.
Well, we did a pick with Frey Ranch the other day, and like I did something and a bunch of balloons started coming out of nowhere repeatedly for like a solid minute. I wasn't even doing anything.
All right. So, all right. I think we're in agreement. I think 1 and 2 are pretty much the leaders in the clubhouse here versus number 3.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What camera do y'all use? Says Greg Ead. I use a Sony A7 III right now, but I'm looking to upgrade to the A7 V here this year once they release it. So I've been saving up for a few years. I've been dodging the new cameras, but I think I'm going to finally upgrade here soon. We
use a Mac laptop.
Today, we don't do this very often, Jason. What's our camera? I don't even know what it is. What's the camera?
Lumix G7 Mark II.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lumix. Okay.
Look into it and smile. That's what he does.
Yeah, there you go. Stand in front of there and look pretty, Kurt. That's all we need from you.
Well, I hit autofocus and hit start. I don't even really know what I'm doing at all. I aim lights at a certain way that I think looks good, but usually people will be like, "Oh, it's not in focus" or whatever. I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Just because I'm in tech doesn't mean that I can fix a camera or know how to work one.
Jason, if you anytime you're around Chicago, you let me know. You're always welcome. We love to host you here at the SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. If you ever did, though, you'd be shaking your head the whole way through, man. You'd be
man, I gotta get to that. I gotta get to that basement bar. And
here,
same thing. If you guys are ever in Ohio here, you guys are always welcome down in the whiskey room to help me drink all this stuff, please.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you.
All right, this is an all-time great one. The banter is freaking awesome, says Bourbon Coach. All right, let's go to letter D here. Let's see if we like the D.
Oh, sorry.
It's an old that's an old whiskey YouTuber joke.
Yeah, Trent embarrasses me once in a while. Jason, I ain't gonna lie.
You just gotta lean into it.
Okay.
You do. Look, I make myself look like an idiot every time we do a video.
Tommy D says, I don't think a new camera will help you look better, Jason. Oh, that's nice, Tommy. That means I already look gorgeous to you. Tommy D's always hitting on me. He sends me messages and he tries to slide into my DMs. Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate you.
You got those fans. Okay. I don't think we've had any of those yet.
Caleb Pitt says, Jason, you rocking with the Skyline chili? You more of a Gold Star guy? I can't do Skyline, dude. I do not like it. Sorry.
I'm glad to hear that. We were in we were in Columbus. We did like a little meet and greet in Columbus last year.
Yeah.
And we ended up at a hotel with a couple people, and they had Skyline DoorDash, and it was just not good. Why is there cinnamon in chili? I don't get it. Maybe I don't get the
listen, it's a special blend. Listen, remember, I'm from New York, so Skyline chili to me, I'm an Italian guy from New York, and when I saw chili going on top of pasta, I almost freaking lost my shit.
I'm with you.
So, okay, it's Skyline, and what else? What else was it?
What do you mean? Oh, Skyline chili. I don't know what the other one, they said, are you Gold Star? I don't know what that means. Is that like a Gold Star member or Gold Star diner? I don't know what that is.
Do you mess with any chili on pasta places in Ohio, or is that
no, I don't. The only thing that goes in my freaking pasta is sauce and meatballs. No chili. Chris Hoover, happy early birthday to Kurt. Kurt, is your birthday coming up?
A few days, buddy. Sunday, I'll be 61.
Damn, dude.
Super Bowl Sunday? Shoot.
Yeah, man.
Dude, happy birthday.
We're having a party here. You weren't invited?
Jason does YouTube on the side. Mash and Drum OnlyFans. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
yeah, definitely no. Gold Star is a Skyline competitor. Oh, I haven't seen Gold Star. Or maybe I just haven't noticed it. I see Skyline everywhere.
I'm very confused on this.
Let's talk beans with Trenton. You don't like beans in your chili?
No, I don't like beans at all. They're terrible.
He's an idiot.
That's like my girlfriend Kim. My girlfriend Kim doesn't like beans in anything.
What?
My girlfriend Kim hates beans and anything.
I'm
Avoids
on
it.
board with Kim. Beans are devil's food. They're terrible.
Get out of here.
They're mushy and they're like gritty. Who the heck likes beans? If you like beans, you're weird.
No idea.
That's a hot take. If you like beans, you're weird.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
This is
Chris Ozoniak says, fun fact, Trenton didn't know the Super Bowl was Sunday.
No, I didn't. I actually just learned that today. And I learned that we're having a party and I wasn't invited. Isn't that nice? I live 2 minutes down the road. Crazy.
Yeah. I was going to tell you tomorrow.
All right. What do we get on the D here?
Yeah.
I like the nose on it. I haven't tasted it yet, though.
I get some grapefruit vibes on it.
It's very baking spice heavy to me, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some baking spice, a little bit of caramel.
Ken Davis, Jason, add a stick of pepperoni into your pasta sauce, then cut it and mix it with the meatballs. That's not, well, I put pancetta in the bottom of my sauce and let that get nice and crispy. It's basically, Italian bacon. So it's good stuff.
When we were in Columbus, we went to this pasta place. Everything was homemade. It was like handmade pasta. I can't remember what it was called, but it was the best pasta that I've ever had.
It was.
Yep.
God, what was the name of the place? It was really nice though. This is a confusing smell.
I like it on the palate.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, this one is also drying in a different way. I feel like those baking spices really, it's more of like an allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon combination a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's got this like zippiness to it that I like quite a bit.
I'm sorry. Did you say zippiness?
Zippy? Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's like sour, like tart or something. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, tart. I could get with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like it though.
Somebody I know here in Ohio, when it's when you drink something a little bit of a high proof and you get like that tingling on your tongue, I say it's like the Pop Rocks effect where you kind of feel those pops. Yeah. They say it sparkles, which I thought was an interesting tasting note.
That is.
It's sparkly. Late to the show, love SLB, wondering what SLB stands for. That's a great question. What does SLB stand for?
All right. Well, you remember a little bit ago when I talked to you about we started the bar down here. Well, the kids named the bar SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. The kids named it.
Okay.
Right? I also don't remember.
Now, SLB is a loving moniker towards my mom, who's affectionately called Grammy around here. So Jason lives in a little separate building we have out on our property right over here. So she's to us now, which is good. She's 86 years old. And basically what it stands for is strong like bull. Now, you can see me sitting here. It has nothing to do with any of that business there. My mom was a workhorse. My dad passed, unfortunately, in 1997. So she's been single by herself for all these years now. She worked 2 jobs. She worked all the time. True story. My brother and I, when my dad first passed, my brother and I went over and mowed the lawn once or twice. She fired us both. Legitimately said, "Don't come back. You're not doing a good enough job."
Okay.
So she's up until 2 years ago, she mowed her own yard at 84 years old. She took care of her house. She retired at Walmart at 77 years old. She's just a workhorse, so she was lovingly nicknamed Strong Like Bull. I went through a little bit of a hard time in 08 and 09 when all the housing crashed out in that time frame. So then I ended up getting a job at the mill too, where my brother works, the steel mill. So I did that 2 jobs for 10 years. So the kids kind of slid that SLB Strong Like Bull to me. So hence the name down here, SLB Basement Bourbon Bar.
That's a really cool story. That's I have a whole new respect for the name of that channel now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I just thought like SLB. I don't know. Maybe it's somebody's initials or who knows what it is. But
originated from
that's a really cool. That's a really cool story. I could kind of appreciate that, Kurt, because my grandmother was like that.
Yeah.
She was she passed away at age 95.
Wow.
Old world Italian.
Yo.
I saw her move a piano by herself once.
I'm telling you.
You talk about strong like bull. My grandmother could probably outbench most dudes now. She was crazy. Yeah.
I'd pull up to her house one day and her garage door was up. Happened all the time. I look up there and I see legs hanging down from the garage attic access.
Yeah.
She's up in there messing around doing something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff.
My grandmother was moving furniture and all this stuff. Obviously, as she got older, she stopped doing that stuff, but she was still very strong. Yeah. Even in her, final years, we would mess with her and she would like, hit us. Like if I like came up behind my grandma and just kind of like mess with her and tap her on her shoulder, she would, and kind of didn't see it was me. She would take a swing at me, hit me in the arm. I'm like, damn, grandma, freaking hurt. she had some power, man.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That generation is just built different.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. They were. I mean, walking up and down hills, carrying friggin' laundry on their heads. I mean, my grandmother's legs were like Coke bottles. They were ridiculous.
Yeah.
So. My grandpa's 88, still works a full-time job, gets up at 4 a.m., works till 2, comes home, has 2 gin and tonics, falls asleep on the couch doing his crossword. He's fallen off an 8-foot bucket lift, trimming trees, broke 2 ribs, a couple other things, fallen off roofs in the last couple of years. He just keeps going to work. Can't stop.
That's awesome. Jacob Poor says, everyone's thoughts on Stag Batch 15. Just got a bottle. Can't wait to pop. Jacob Poors, that is a legendary bottle because it is liquid strawberry Starburst Skittles candy. All of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if we have it.
I'll give you all.
Batch 15 is it is it is candy. One of kind of the last stag batches that have been like that. Good amount of stag batches nowadays have had a little bit more oak to it, some more spice. I mean, you still get like that cherry note, a lot of sweetness, but 15 was exponentially sweet. So enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll have to check to see if we have that one.
All right, guys, the D, what do you think?
Oh shoot, I went on to E. Oh, D was good.
Yeah, I thought D was pretty good.
I like D quite a bit.
Yeah,
me too.
Not sure though, Jason, if it rivals A and B yet, but
yeah, we'll have to go back and figure that out. But I'm with you. I still like it better than 3, but we'll see how. Let's go to the letter E. See what we got here.
I get like a nice icing, like a.
Oh, yeah, this is nice.
This is like vanilla buttercream icing, baby.
Dude, it's good. It's good.
Oh, that smells fantastic.
This is probably the best nose so far, I think.
The glaze on a cinnamon roll.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking, minus the butter.
Great call, Kurt. Cinnamon roll, for sure.
Jason, you got to answer this question quickly.
Sure.
Cinnamon roll, do you like it with butter on the cinnamon roll and the icing?
The way
actually, I've never done that, so I'll probably say no right now. However, I do like butter on my Pop-Tarts, so maybe I do like it on my cinnamon roll.
What's happening?
You gotta try it, Jason. You gotta try it, man. Thank me later. Trenton hates it, but thank me later.
Okay, I'll try it.
What type of Pop-Tart? Any Pop-Tart?
I only really get down with strawberry frosted or the blueberry, and every now and again I'll do a brown sugar. But
you bet.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. My God.
Butter on a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, is that like the Family Guy reference? You know what I'm talking about?
It might be.
He sang a song about putting butter on a Pop-Tart, and I was like, that sounds terrible.
So yeah, it's actually somebody told me about it, and I was like, I don't think that's gonna work, and it actually wasn't too bad. So
somebody actually in our Discord told me to put strawberry jelly on a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, and I was like, "There's no way that's gonna be good," and it hits.
Yeah, it's that sweet and savory combination.
It's so good.
By the way, before I forget, I have to ask you guys, how do you like your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I always ask every guest. This kind of started a couple years ago with PB&J. Scott from My Bourbon Journey came on, and he was extremely adamant about the way he liked his peanut butter and jelly.
Really?
So I started asking everybody how they like it. Now, according to Bruce Russell from Wild Turkey, a couple weeks ago when he was on the channel for an amazing interview.
That was a great show. Congratulations.
Yeah, he said if you do not cut your peanut butter and jelly diagonal, right? If you do not, so he cuts it diagonal from corner to corner. He said if you don't do that with your peanut butter and jelly, he said you're a psychopath.
The triangles hit more than any other shape of what? I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Drifting Gems, buttery Pop Tartlets. Yep, you're going to see that in the chat soon.
But I'll say I like my peanut butter and jelly without jelly. I think jelly's terrible.
You said jelly's terrible?
Jelly's awful.
Like any jelly. What about jam?
Nope.
What about preserves?
Marmalade, preserves, jelly, jam, however you want to cut it or name it.
Any sort of gelatinous fruit you don't like?
What?
Any sort of gelatinous fruit you don't like?
Nope.
So you'll just, all right, so say you're eating a peanut butter sandwich. Type of bread?
Oat nut bread by what's that? What's the one with the pieces of the oatmeal on the corner?
Wow, he's getting really specific. What about peanut butter? Crunchy or creamy?
Creamy. Natural. Skippy.
No, okay. Toasted or untoasted?
Ooh, it depends on the mood. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I like a raw peanut butter sandwich. Sometimes I like it toasted. If you don't put
jelly on it, is there anything else you do like honey, banana, or just peanut butter?
I will put honey on it every now and then, but I haven't drifted into the banana. If I'm gonna put peanut butter and banana together, I'll just like scoop some peanut butter on the banana directly. I don't mess around with the bread. This is extra work.
All right, Kurt. What about you, man? Let's save the day here.
Any way I can get peanut butter, I take it. You toast that bread. I could be rye bread, wheat bread. One thing I don't like is white bread.
Okay.
I've never cut a sandwich in my life. I don't believe.
You go full. So you ham hock it full sandwich.
You darn right. Remember Grammy, the SLB? She'd slather stuff on and throw it over. There you go.
What about jelly? Do you do the jelly?
Oh, absolutely. As thick as I can put it on.
What kind of jelly?
Any one I can get. It doesn't matter to me.
If you had one jelly you had to choose, what would it be?
I had to choose. I love apricot preserves. I love that. But
wow, apricot preserves. Interesting.
My go-to my whole life's been grape jelly for the most part. But I love apricot preserves. But
yeah, do you go Skippy or do you go crunchy or crunchy or creamy peanut butter?
Either way, I don't really care to give it to me either way. But if I went to the store to buy it, I'd get creamy.
I love how Kurt is just like, I don't care, give it to me. I don't cut it. Just don't give me white bread. Crispy, crunchy, untoasted, non-toasted. Give me any jelly you have. And then Trent's like, I have to have oat nut bread from this brand. I got to be in the mood, whether it's toasted, untoasted. Give me no jelly, and I want Skippy, all natural, creamy. Thank you very much.
And this is what I've lived with for all these years.
No, because here's the thing. We got peanut butter from Aldi before, and it was terrible.
Well, that is true.
It's not good.
That is true.
So I know what I like. I stick to it. And then Carlos is probably going to comment and be like, "Oh, get out of your box, bro." But I have, and it's not good.
Jason, I grew up on Shed's peanut butter. You remember Shed's?
Shed's?
I don't think I know. I don't think I grew up with Shed's.
Dude, man, my mom, Grammy bought back in the day. They're like in buckets. It came in buckets, right? The crappiest peanut butter known to mankind. I had no idea. Until I got married when I was 21 or 22 years old back then, 22, 23, whatever it was. My wife at the time went to the store and actually got a Skippy or a Jif or whatever. Then I was like, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven now. I called her. I said, you have given me this Shed's peanut butter my whole life. It's garbage. It was horrible. I couldn't believe it.
James Lay says, Kurt is my spirit old man. Trent reminds me too much of my kids and my wife. Bougie.
Come on, man. Look, any peanut butter called Shed's, you can't assume it's going to be good.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
Shed's.
All right,
I almost bought a whole antique gallon of Shed's and gave it to you for a gift.
Don't you do it.
All right, guys, go back to the cinnamon roll because that's what basically this is.
Back on track. Sorry, buddy.
Oh no, it's okay. This is the beauty of it. Yeah, it's hard to get past that cinnamon roll note. I do think that there's a little icing there, but I do get a little bit of a rye kick on the nose as well.
I think this one is really good myself. I like it a lot.
That is the embodiment of just a straight up cinnamon roll, man.
It is. It's wonderful.
That's really nice.
It's very cinnamon heavy.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of cinnamon, how are you feeling about the Amburana finish stuff? Are you kind of still on that train?
Oh no, man. I've been off that train for like a year and a half. I can't do it. I can't do it. I think the only Amburana finished one I could take has actually surprisingly been from RD1. Their Amburana tastes like apple pie to me. It doesn't even taste like actual. Sometimes with that Amburana note, there's a huge differentiation when you go like first fill, second fill, third fill. You get a first fill one, it's almost medicinal Amburana. It just comes off way too heavy. But you get a second or a third fill, I actually think it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm just over it, I guess. I just can't do Amburana anymore. Everyone started doing it. I think Starlight kind of started the trend, and then everybody kind of piled on.
Yeah. Agreed.
ASW does a really solid Amburana finish. And it's a higher proof, so it kind of dials that down a little bit, but I do like that one quite a bit.
And that's why I could kind of appreciate this, because it's cinnamon heavy, but it's not giving me like that Amburana note. But if there is Amburana whiskey in this blend, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Honestly, though, I'd have to give it mad props because it doesn't have that like cinnamon woodiness to it. It's just like everything you could possibly like about cinnamon is in there, and then they somehow transformed it into what it is. I like it. I think this is really solid.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't do Amburana too much. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of over it. I love French oak finishes. It's probably my favorite. Love French oak. I love a good like Oloroso and PX sherries have been kind of my favorite for a while, but I love when people kind of venture outside of that to do like a Amontillado or Palo Cortado, some different types of sherry variations that I really like to explore now. I don't know. I'm always like looking for like, give us something new. Well, what else you got?
Speaking of Cedar Ridge, did you get the Amontillado from Cedar Ridge?
I did not. Not.
Okay. Message me later and I'll get you something from that. You've got to try it.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I'll send it to you.
It's unreal.
All right. We're on the last one here, right?
Yep.
F.
I lost mine.
Well, what's going on with my camera? Camera is glitching.
Oh yeah, it is a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
I don't know where I put that. There it is. How do I lose something in such a confined space? That's impressive.
It is.
Dude, this has been a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Actually,
this has been fun.
I think it's because we don't mess around with blends too much.
No, we don't.
We need to though.
Yeah, obviously. Whoever's.
Ooh, nice. We're a little split screen.
What? See, we blew them up. That's the problem. We screwed it up.
It's probably my taste.
Browser has lost connection. Let's see. Let me see if I can fix this, guys. Give me 1 second. You can just talk to the folks. Talk to them.
Hey, you're good. Jason.
I wish I could kind of see the chat. So my hot takes usually garner quite a bit of outrage.
When you and I, when we do lives, I don't ever see the chat, so I don't know what's going on. And all I see is between your mom, you, and Michelle giving that gasp or that "oh my god," that kind of thing. I never even see what's going on.
I'll set it up next time in the chat so you can see it for the Patreon stuff. Do you not?
See, then I might just be reading and losing track of what I'm doing too.
It's difficult to context switch so much.
As you get older, it's hard to do two things at the same time. But
you'll get there though. We were gonna. We usually have a TV for the live streams and stuff. We get big donations and stuff.
Yeah.
Went to go set it up for the live stream. Was that last week?
Mm-hmm.
And something hit it, and it's just shattered.
Yeah.
So we got to get a new one.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that happened.
I could have even done it.
What?
I could have even done that because everything's been all over the place down here, and I've been moving stuff around. I could have even.
Yeah. I did not expect that. But how are you guys? How are you guys doing? You doing good? It's Wednesday. It's a good time.
This is, for those of you who are just Jason C watchers, and that's all good. This is what I have to deal with right here. This is it.
Lean down a little bit. get in the thing here.
Seriously?
We did it. Oh, now it's just us.
Wow.
There goes. Somebody texted me. I'm good. How are you? I'm good, Matt.
There goes the viewers.
Dude, we're not versed in this. What do we do? Jason's gone. Is he gonna come back? Are we still on?
I gotta use the bathroom anyways.
No, I think we're still on though.
Oh,
Hold on. Let me pull up his thing. Hold on, guys. We're riffing here. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, we're just us right now. You're still on. Oh God.
I'll be right back.
All right, I got the chat up. Jason's gone, but it's just me. Kurt went to go to the bathroom. You're okay, Matt. Wow, I'm getting a lot of texts from people saying I'm still on. Well, we came in and we took over. We conquered it. I might have hacked Jason's camera and made it so that we just took over. Hostile takeover. Trent, did you forget to plug in Jason's laptop? I've forgotten to plug in the laptop so many times. Love you too, Tiffany. Thank you very much. Top 5 candies. Ooh, that's a tough one. All right, you got the Haribo, the sour strips, Skittles, Twizzlers, the cherry ones, not the strawberry stuff. The sour strips, it's a brand you can get on Amazon. Very good. I need to add a chocolate, probably like a dark chocolate Ghirardelli square, something or another. Purple. Ooh, Albanese. Yeah, if you can get to Albanese, it's in Maryville. Very good. We're like 30 minutes away, and it's really good. Albanese used to do tours. I don't think they do them anymore. Did you ever get to go on an Albanese tour? I'm just kind of riffing with the folks here. It's just us. Oh, there's Jason.
It's okay. Can you guys hear me?
People get me talking about candy. I'm cooking. Oh, I turned the mic off. Okay. Red vines are terrible for no.
Okay.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn you up.
All right. Yeah. I'm not sure why my camera lost connection. Something happened with the internet here, and it just kind of screwed everything up. So I don't know if my router restarted or something happened, but
you guys get hit with the ice storms already?
I don't know. You think that's what that is? I don't think so.
I don't know if it will. No, because I think weather goes east to west.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening, but I'm just gonna stick with I'm gonna be like you guys. I'm gonna just rock the FaceTime camera.
Where did I? Oh,
there you go.
And you look great.
I'm like trying to like figure out like why did it lose connection with trying to figure out why your browser lost connection to the camera. Interesting. Okay.
How do you set your camera up through? Do you use like Streamlabs or OBS?
Using StreamYard.
Oh.
But
Interesting.
But the interesting thing is here, hold on a second. Let me get back to the FaceTime camera so I'm done like messing around with this. No, go back to the other camera.
I love technology.
Gotta love it.
I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't work in technology. I'd probably be doing drywall.
There we go. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to keep it here. I'll mess with the camera later and see what the hell happened. But okay. We're just going to stay right here.
That's all good.
Is what it is.
Yep.
So I got to ask, Jason, right? This isn't your full-time gig, right?
No, it's not. I actually have another full-time job.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
That's all.
What are you in? Can you disclose? Are you in like the CIA or something?
Yeah, I'm actually a spy.
Oh.
No, I do marketing for a pharmaceutical wholesaler, basically. So
okay.
Yeah.
Is that a remote position? Like you go into work, or is that like a remote thing?
No, I definitely go in for work. I go in for work a couple times, 2 to 3 times a week. So
were you ever like full remote, or are you doing like is your company?
I was only full remote. So when I got the gig here in Columbus, in Ohio, I originally worked in New York for about a year, and that was like full remote, but pre-COVID full remote.
Okay. And
then I moved here in 2016 to kind of expand my job role where I am now, and then I've been there ever since. So
very cool.
Yep. Guys who quit to YouTube full time get an automatic unsub. What? Blake Howard, Jason, are you a Cardinal? Yes, I am a Cardinal. So, fancy name for a drug dealer. He's from New York. No, guys, I literally do marketing. So I just do marketing, and yeah, that's pretty much my gig. I've been doing that for a long time. So,
how did you get into that?
Honestly, it was my first job out of college. I went to St. John's University. My first job was designing a website for some pharmaceutical wholesaler in Queens. And then 12 years later, they got bought by Cardinal. And then Cardinal brought me onto their team, and that's how I ended up at Cardinal. So
very cool.
Yep.
I get some
are you guys on 6?
We're on the last one, sir.
Yep.
All right, I'm with you. Here we go.
I get like some berries in here. Man, so why is that? You gotta stop. You gotta stop dinging on me. Come on.
Is that Colin?
Yeah.
Take a break.
Colin. I don't know if Colin's. Come on, Colin. Okay, now where'd the video go? Fantastic. Now we're having issues.
I'm in double, Jason. Everyone here works at Cardinal. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Damn, there is some. The last one actually has some really nice flavor. Number 6 actually reminds me a little bit of number 1 in a little bit of a way, but without all the citrus. It's got like the nice spice, but it doesn't have that creamsicle note that you were talking about, Trent.
It's got more of a rye spice kind of a palate, or like a rye spice kind of a mouthfeel, and like the creaminess that A has. I really like this blend, though. I think it's very
cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm gonna have to go back through and taste half of these.
So how do you do it, Jason? Do you go back then?
Well, first, I feel like we can eliminate ones that we weren't that crazy about. Then we can kind of work with the ones that we have. So I feel like letter 3 seemed to be the flattest. I feel like C. That's the one we could eliminate pretty much right away.
Yep, I'm with you on that one.
So we'll take that one out.
Yep.
Is there any other ones that you guys are kind of down on compared to the other ones?
Well,
my second to last was B.
B was your second to last?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I would eliminate that one yet, just because it's so viscous.
You need to take a break. You need to take a break.
Oh, is this the pancake one?
I like B quite a bit. Honestly, for me, now this is a discussion, obviously, but for me,
B is delicious.
The next one out was D for me.
Really? The D?
Yeah.
You're not down with the D? Shame.
Get out of here.
B is just a little drying on the end. It's just like, it's kind of fine.
Okay. We're not talking about B right now, though.
Well,
Bourbon Van says way past our bedtime here in St. Pete, Florida. Have a great night, everybody. Shout out to Kurt's Leisure Pants. Love it.
I'm sorry, Jason. I had no idea. Trenton didn't tell me.
How many of you in the chat are also wearing pants similar to that? it's 9:30 at night. Who's still wearing jeans or pants? Or any pants for that matter?
We're a guest of Jason's show. I would have had more respect and put on a pair of breeches.
No, it's okay. We're not. I'm wearing some joggers, so you can wear leisure pants. You're good.
All right.
It looks like Iron G is not wearing any pants apparently, and so is Whiskey Nose.
Well,
yep, 100%. I'm not wearing any pants. Here it comes. Oh, we're gonna learn of everybody that doesn't wear any freaking pants. Here we go.
Man, I really know how to rile up a chat. This is why we've only done. This is our second live stream with anybody else.
I still have A as a big favorite for me.
Yeah,
I love A a lot.
I'm not even going back to that at the moment because it's one of my big favorites. It has all the way through tasting. I'm just trying to concentrate on now what I would take out next to just kind of narrow it down. What did you think of F, Jason? I don't think we went that with you.
What's that?
What did you feel about F, the last one we tasted?
I liked F a lot, but as much as I like F, I feel like it gives me reminders of A, but I love a really long finish in a whiskey. If it shortens out or falls off a cliff, it's a kind of a no-no for me. Okay. A has probably one of the longer finishes that we've had tonight.
Yeah, that F is not one I would push out next. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to take out F for now?
No.
I think we all like E, that cinnamon heavy one, right?
Correct. I did. I gave it a pretty nice score.
That's my second place right now. D. That's a cinnamon roll one. That's very well balanced.
Yeah.
Like it's a very, very nice overall sip.
E, you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
B is my second place.
What?
E has a little bit of a youthful kick on the back end. I'm tasting some corn back there.
I'm just giving a hard time, Jason. B's not my second.
I can see what you mean with the back end on that one.
Yep.
On which one?
E.
E. Okay.
I don't know. I'm happy with Kurt here. I like B a lot.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to that one after a little bit later.
Which one?
B. B was my second to last place.
I know.
What did we think about what was D like? We all liked the D, right? What was your consensus on that?
I'm getting to it, my man.
I like D a lot, but it just doesn't have. I don't think it brings as much as the others.
Yeah, that was my next out. That's me.
Yep.
I could be overruled and doesn't hurt my feelings.
No, I'm with you. I don't think it's a great blend. It's balanced, but it doesn't have there's no, I don't know. There's just no wow factor to it.
Yeah.
I feel like the others bring a little bit more to the table.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take out.
I can get on board with.
We're going to take out the D.
Okay. All right.
All right. So right now we have C and D have been eliminated. So we have A, B, and E and F. So two of these guys have to go home.
Yep. I think I have an idea on my next one, but I'm going to take a taste first real quick.
Okay.
I think if I'm not picking B, I'm picking F for the next out.
I'm with you.
I'm with him too.
All right. F.
Yep. F had my lowest score. That's remaining.
All right. So a little surprise for the group here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to pick our top two that are definitely making it to the finals out of these three.
Yep.
But one of these, one that gets eliminated from the top three, might have a shot to get to the final five.
Fun.
Because it's going to go head to head with the third place of next week's bracket to see which one sneaks it through. So instead of 4 blends in the finals, we'll have 5. And we'll see if there's a dark horse, a little Cinderella story that can happen. So this should be fun.
I got my rankings.
All right. So here's my thoughts, guys.
Sure.
I think A is in.
I'm with you 100%.
It's between B and E to get that last slot, to get that second slot. What do you think?
I'm gonna retaste right now.
All right, A is in for me.
A is spectacular.
A is delicious. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
From the beginning when we first tasted it, it's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You said we get to find out what the blends are.
The ones that we eliminate, yes.
Eliminate, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So then we're looking at B and E.
Yep. So B and E, which one is definitely in the final 4, and then which one could be a dark horse?
The more I go into E, the more I get this like cream corn kind of a vibe.
I could see that.
It's buttery too.
Yeah, it's that youthful. Yeah, I'm not going to say youthful. That's the wrong word. There is a buttery cornbread, like toasted cornbread note it's got on E.
Dang it.
Look, Trent's coming around on B, Kurt. I think he's coming around.
Hey, I'll admit when I'm wrong. Yeah, my first would be A, my second would be B, and then I'd put E as the Cinderella story contender there.
Kurt, do you agree with those rankings?
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at, man. All right, so we got it.
Okay.
So we are all in unison, which is great because you know, as much as I've watched you guys, you know, I feel like everybody has a different palette. Trent obviously picks up some crazy notes. Kurt, you pick up some crazy notes. So do I. But having three of us do this, I think is really cool because I think it definitely it solidifies the ones that we are picking because it shows that the blends that we're selecting here all have balance, great flavor, viscosity, and that's why they're making it through. And I think all three of us can recognize that, which is great. So,
right. Yeah, kudos to everybody involved here. They did a great job on all of these. All
right, so it's time to find out who buttery like a tartlet. But is it zippy? Is it zippy? Let me grab the blends. Hold on.
All right.
I gotta ask for everybody in the chat. I'm pulling up the chat. When I say zippy, like, does that make sense? Like, do you guys get what I mean, or am I just like off my rocker? Let me have it if I'm wrong, but like it.
Zippy. Hey man, you don't let anybody tell you you're crazy. You do you. If you want to say zippy, you say zippy.
Okay, Rare Bird 101 says yes, so I'm good. That's all the validation I need.
I feel like zippy is the same as sparkly.
Or like when
effervescence used quite a bit.
Effervescence, a good one. Right. Yep.
If you say like McDonald's pop is spicy, like does that make sense, or is that also?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's spicy. It's got a lot of bubbles in it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sparkly. It pop. The pop rocks effect, I call it.
Make sure I'm closing the right tab here. So
all right, here we go.
All right.
Man, this was close. This was really close. Okay, so we're going to go to the first one that was eliminated was letter C. And that belongs to, oh man, my boy, my big avocado, Big Vic. Sorry, Big Vic.
Big Vic, fantastic blend, buddy. Great job, man.
Yeah. Big Vic, I think the longer it sat, the more weird it got for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm not sure why. Trying to find his blend details. Let me see. Do I have it here? Is this Big Vic's? Nope. Big Vic, did you send me your blend? Your blend details, Big Vic? I don't see it here.
A little bit.
No, I do not have Vic. What is in your blend? Text it to me or send it to me. We got to know what's in there. Sorry, Biggest Vicus.
Well, if Vic was subbed, he's probably unsubbed after that decision.
Yeah, he probably just. A lot of people also unsub when they get knocked out, unfortunately. So C is the one that actually got a little bit funky, just kind of on the back end of that one.
I'll say none of these were bad.
Yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely.
I mean, they all made it. They all kind of made it to the Sweet 6 here for a reason. But let's see here. Yeah, Big Vic, if you have your components, just text me and I'll read them off. In the meantime, let's go to the next one that we have that's been eliminated. This one was the D. The D was kind of in a weird spot. We kind of loved it. We kind of liked it. Not so sure. Mm-hmm. D belongs to, I think this is the best name that we've come across. This, Big Vic's name of his blend was called Churro Spice. So you would think that was the cinnamon heavy one, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Letter D belongs to Nathan Jurgensen with his barrel proof donkey sauce.
Love it.
That's right, Mark. D is in a weird spot. Sorry, man. It just didn't. When we first tried Nathan's blend, we were all in love with it. But I think once it went up against some of these other blends, it just kind of fell off a little bit, unfortunately. But definitely a great blend. We really like that one. Let's see, and that brings us to letter F. Letter F is the Trilogy Trail Blender from Darren Clary. Now, here's the thing. We did find out. So Darren was kind enough to message me the other day, and he told me that, you know, his blend would have to be eliminated regardless because he just realized that he put a single barrel in his blend. So even if it made it through, it wouldn't have been accepted anyway, unfortunately. And I do appreciate Darren for being honest about that. So thank you so much, Darren. But I feel like we should have left it in tonight. I just want to see how it did, because it is a fantastic blend. So first, let's find out what's in Nathan's blend. Which is, that's the 7th inning one. That's Wise Guys. That's
Wise Guys.
There you go. All right, here's Nathan Jurgensen's blend. Let's find out what's in this one. Jeffrey Wax says, let's go. How did he blend the D? Let's see what was in this blend. So we had Nathan Jurgensen barrel proof donkey sauce, comes in at 125 proof, 8 parts. ECBP C923.
Ooh.
3 parts Russell's Reserve 15. Jesus.
Wow.
3 parts Jacob's Well 211. And 1 part Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, which is a shelfer at 130 proof. Dude, you're talking about barrel proof donkey sauce? That's
an apropos name.
Yeah. That's no joke, that blend.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Dude,
he put 3 parts Russell's 15.
Yeah, he had 3 parts Russell's 15 in that blend.
It's awesome.
Dude, that's crazy. All right. Big Vic texted me. Let's see what was in his churro spice. He had 60% ECBP B524 and 40% Barrel Craft Spirits Dovetail. Interesting.
Wow.
I would have never, ever guessed in a million years that Dovetail was in that blend.
No.
Were there two releases of Dovetail?
Yeah, they have different batches for sure. Yep.
It goes to show. I don't know about you, Jason, but I've never been a massive fan of the Dovetail release. That's just me.
Too much finish for you think?
It's just a lot going on in there. It's just not.
There's definitely a lot going on.
It's just not. It just wasn't one for me personally.
The first one you had, I liked quite a bit, and then the second one I thought wasn't as good as the first. I was like, like I'm happy to have it, but
right. Sure.
All right, so Darren Clary's blend. This was the one that we were going to eliminate anyway because he used a single barrel. But I'm just curious what he blended. 1 part Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye, 2 parts Green River full proof, and actually, I'm sorry, he has equal parts here for all of them. Sorry. Number 1 is Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye, which was 134.1 proof. Number 2 was a Green River full proof, 117.3. And Middle West Spirits ported pumpernickel rye at 128.4.
What? It's one of Trenton's favorites.
What do you think of that? Do you like that one?
I liked D a lot, and when Darren first, the first time when he was in that bracket and we tasted it against the other blends, it was an easy winner for us. It was so good. So,
what do you think of the ported pumpernickel rye?
That is one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things that Middle West makes. I love it.
Yeah,
we did a pick there. We did a pick there late last year, and it was one of my favorite picks that we did last year. It was so good. Actually, one of the easiest picks. They gave us 3 samples to try. We tried 1, we tried 2, and then 3 was an absolute monster. And we were like, okay. We were there for like 10 minutes. We were done. It was picked.
Wow.
What was the toughest pick you've ever done?
It's a good question. I think the toughest picks for me have always been at Wild Turkey because you go in, you try them right from the barrel, and they're all so good. It's like, which one do you like more? Right. Jack Daniel's is always tough. We did 2 single barrel ryes the last time we were there. We had 3. We picked 2 of them because we kind of liked all of them, but we couldn't have all 3. So we did the 2. As far as like debating, if there was like a heavy debate for a couple, it was probably, I remember when we did our Frey Ranch pick, we debated for at least a half hour going back and forth.
Really?
Because there was 2 different ones that we really liked. And
is that a bourbon?
I actually lost the debate. I lost the one I wanted, but it ended up being really good.
Was it a bourbon or a rye that you guys did?
It was a bourbon. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. So that means going to the finals. is letter A, and that belongs to Miro with his old Gary Carter blend. This dude made a sticker with Gary Carter on and everything, which is pretty cool.
Get out of here.
He knows I'm a big Mets fan, so yeah, this is pretty cool.
I love it, man. Old school baseball, man.
Old school baseball.
That's a baseball thing?
That's a baseball. He has no idea who Gary Carter is.
Oh, the Darren Clary, he's in the chat. He said the Middle West, I thought was the pick, was a seal box pick. Oh, okay, so that was the one. So Miro, congrats, man. Dude, letter A is really good. And then that means letter B, that super syrupy, delicious one. That one belongs to Mr. Jeffrey Wack with his blend called Cousins. So congratulations to both Miro and Jeffrey Wack. You guys have a straight shot to the finals, which means letter E, Adam Hinson has a shot with his blend called Seventh Inning Stretch. From Adam Hinson to maybe go to the finals. It depends on what his matchup is against the third place selection next week when we get into the right side of the bracket. So congratulations to Adam, Jeffrey, and Miro. You guys you're making it to the big time. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, great job on all parts. Congratulations. I've got to be honest, man. I'm rooting for old Gary Carter, man. Anything old baseball to me, I'm in.
That's a damn good blend. I mean, the dude put it in a Russell's 13 bottle. It can't be bad, right?
But baseball aside, I just found out the Super Bowl was this Sunday, so you think I knew who Gary Carter was? I would be really surprised. And granted, I don't know what the other side of the bracket looks like. But
all right, guys. So who do you have for the Super Bowl? I got to ask.
Yeah, Trenton. I will always root for anyone other than the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry.
That's the same sentiment. That's probably the same sentiment as a lot of people in the country, to be honest.
Well, honestly, Jason, every team I've rooted for, I didn't have really I didn't have a favorite going into it. Of course, I'm a Bears fan if you're going to ask me, but I'm more a baseball fan than anything else. So
who's your baseball team?
Cubs, baby.
Chicago Cubs. Very cool. Okay.
That's a whole other story, man. But that's I've been a Cubs fan since I was a little kid.
A lot of heartbreaks with the Cubs. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm a huge diehard Mets fan, so I'm with you, man.
Good for you. Good for you.
What about you, Trent? You have a thought of the game here?
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I'm the least sports person you've probably ever met, but
the least sports person.
Yeah. So my girlfriend's parent or my wife's parents passed away in 2019 and 2021.
Okay.
She grew up in Detroit. They were massive Lions fans. I don't know anything about the Lions, but I was stoked to see them go this far this year. They had a great team. I was hoping that they would go all the way to the Super Bowl and just kind of that was like a lot of what we have from them is like Lions memorabilia, stuff like that. And that was a big part of her childhood growing up, going to games or just being next to her dad when he was watching the games and stuff like that. So I was hoping they would go all the way. I honestly don't care who wins. I spent like $40 on some squares to win a 2011 Thomas Handy. I don't even know what that means.
Trent, you straight remind me of what was the show Big Bang Theory? And then you have Leonard.
Sheldon. I've never watched that either.
No, you have Leonard, who is Sheldon's best friend. He's he doesn't know what sports are either. One time he was trying to impress his girlfriend Penny, and he lifted up his shirt, and all he had written on his belly was "Go Sports." That's you.
Yeah, that's Trenton.
I don't. Sure. My buddy has like access to box seats at Sox games and stuff, White Sox games. So I'll go to that. But I mean, I'm just there for the food, man. I don't care who wins.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Whiskey knows high tide. It's roll tide, not high tide.
I was born in Alabama. Roll tide. Yeah.
Oh my God, Trent is totally Leonard. I'm sorry, I just did that to you, dude.
We were gonna consider coming on again, but.
The Mets signed Pete Alonso finally. Jesus, Christ, about time.
I didn't.
Thank God. That's gonna be a hell of a lineup there. So I'm glad he finally came back. So let's see. So what do you guys got coming up? Anything programming wise, pick wise? How do people get your hands on your picks? Through your Patreon?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
We got we did 2 barrels of OCD from Glens Creek. That's coming next Friday. Just did a Frey Ranch pick on Friday too.
Nice.
One, yeah.
Rye 138.8 proof. It's almost a hazmat.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, nice.
It's up there.
That's a beast right there.
Love it. Past that, we're just kind of lining some stuff up for the rest of the year. I think we got 3 or 4 picks planned in the next month or 2. But yeah, we're just kind of chilling. What you were talking about the Heaven Hill 19 weeded. What do you think of that price?
See, here's the problem with that. I don't know what a 19-year wheat whiskey would taste like. Now, if it's something really amazing and really different for $300, yeah, I mean, that's a very expensive price point, but I feel like if it was a wheated bourbon, people might be more apt to spend that money on it. But you say wheat whiskey, I don't know, $300, but this is what the Heritage Collection has been doing. We had the corn whiskey, wheat whiskey. I'm sure we'll see a rye in that aspect at some point. They've done the 17, the Heaven Hill 17 year, still my favorite of all time. That thing was an absolute monster of a bourbon. The 18 year, I didn't think it was near as good as the 17 year, but speaking to Connor O'Driscoll, he said they kind of made it in a way where they wanted it to be a little bit of an easier sipper compared to the 17 year. So in that aspect, it makes sense, but I don't know. I'm going to get a sample of it and I'll try it. I'll review it, but I'm curious to taste it. Honestly, I have low expectations, so I'm hoping to be surprised.
What, if any distillery could release anything, what would be like on the top of your list for like, I wish this distillery would make this product at this age statement and it just magically happened? Like, what's top of your list for that?
So I do a segment every year at the end of the year called like my whiskey predictions on my whiskey, my whiskey prayers and hopes. So one of them has always been the Michter's American, the blue label.
Love it.
I want that at cast strength.
Oh my.
Oof.
Wow. That'd be fantastic.
I want to try that at cast strength for sure.
Oh.
I would love a Woodford Reserve double oak to cast strength just to try that.
He's been pounding that table for a long time.
Dude, I don't get it. Like, why is that not a thing?
I mean, I think that, well, because first of all, fans of Woodford Reserve are extremely loyal to that brand, and they live in that 90.4 proof point. And I think they know that. Now, on the same token, what if double oak to cast strength is too oaky and it just tastes like wood? Maybe they have to water it down to open it up. I don't know. But I still would like the chance to try it at cast strength for sure.
Right.
I would love to see Knob Creek 12-year cast strength come out again. I would love to see Booker's Rye appear again if they can make it any sort of close to what it was. I did a big request to Bruce Russell. I want them to bring back the Wild Turkey 12-year Cheesy Gold Foil 101. If they could somehow replicate that flavor profile, that would be my goat whiskey. I mean, I love it. Just curious if Kurt has tried the Old Line Double Oak Sherry Cask finished malt. I know he likes the Old Line brand.
I have not. And I do know this Friday they're supposed to be releasing the sherry finish. I just read it today and I've got it on my calendar.
Oh, yes. The Dark Rose. A double oaked Four Roses.
No. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I actually made these. Check this out. So this is the Woodford Reserve double oak cast strength. I made these fake bottles.
Oh.
Dude.
The first time I posted this, people were taking pictures of it and were like in search of on the secondary sites. I'm like, it doesn't exist, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was the Dark Rose label. This was the Dark Rose I came up with.
That's awesome.
Four Roses. Here's the front of it. Here's the close up. The Dark Rose, double oaked Kentucky Straight Bourbon from Four. Tell me You would want an OESO with that fruit cherry double oaked. How good would that be?
Jason, that's how Trent and I have talked about, mainly Trent on the channel, pounding the pulpit too. Four Roses just needs to come with something outside the box like that. What you suggest there is a perfect example, coming out with something that'll just blow people away.
Yeah.
What I love is that, and I'm sure they listen to me, Old Forester and their President's Choice Rye, it's about time. I know that's going to go for stupid money.
Yep.
And I'm not going to get it. Like, there's no shot. But that's
you have to be lucky in Kentucky to kind of get that bottle, unfortunately.
Yeah, like regardless, it's cool that they're at least talking about it internally and releasing it. Four Roses needs to come out with a rye again. I would love to see Booker's come out with a rye. Wild Turkey knows how to do a rye because I've had some older stuff like their Christmas label ryes.
Mm-hmm.
They're delicious. Why they're not doing that now and they're coming out with a 10-year Triumph rye that's $2.99, I just blows my mind.
Yeah, we talked about the Triumph. It was kind of a milestone for them, but I did not agree with the price point of that one. Beacon, the next Master's Keep, which might be their last Master's Keep for a little while, sounded really interesting. But did you hear what Bruce said about the non-chill filtered rare breed?
I did.
Isn't that cool? Cannot wait for that to be the regular rare breed here in domestically.
I love that.
That's massive. I think that's big.
I think people will love that. Been seeing the Old Forester 1924 be more available at MSRP recently. Yeah, I think kind of the secret's out on that bottle. I don't think people are crazy about it when it first came out, but you know, I like Knob Creek 12 better than the Old Forester 12, honestly. But that's just my palate.
We got a lot of comments on the 1924 because I just wasn't too gung ho about it. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, palate's subjective, right? That's what makes whiskey so cool. But a lot of folks kind of disagreed, and I'm glad. You know, that's cool. But I didn't get the hype around it. Have you had Knob Creek 12 at Cask?
Yeah, I have the one release that they came out with. It's glorious. It's one of the best releases. It's one of the best releases they've ever come out with, and they've only come out with it once.
I have it unopened, and I'm just waiting for something.
Oh, dude, it's gonna ruin Knob Creek for you forever.
I got the store pick over there, the Longhorn store pick. That's
those are insane, years.
Dude. 12+ years. So good.
I still have about 2 or 3 of those old school 15-year Knob Creek single barrels left at 120 proof that are absolutely unbelievable.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everyone keeps asking me in the chat, Trent, what is the secret pick?
Oh Jesus.
Nah.
These people are trying to, I don't know. Trent comes up every year with a couple secret picks, Jason, that he doesn't tell folks about. We put it up.
So you go and do a pick and you don't tell the group what it is?
Correct.
So it's one of those things where I'm confident enough and the yield is such that if I put it up, you're gonna hit the link, whoever we go through it with, it's gonna say secret pick. It's going to be at the price. If you want to take a gamble on it and buy it, great. You're not going to know what it is until you get it.
That's a cool idea. I may steal that. I like that.
Okay, yeah, because it's like, and primarily it's because, okay, you know, there are some picks that are, if you announce them on Patreon or whatever method, people are going to bump tiers, are going to do this or that, and it's like, no, we're just gonna be very vague about it. And if you trust us enough, you trust our program enough, our barrel pick program, our pallets enough, they align with yours enough so that you want to spend X amount. Granted, it's not like a $500 bottle or anything. I would never do that much. Yeah. But $100 to $200, you want to take a gamble, 150, 120 bottles, you get what you get.
I kind of like that idea. That's pretty brilliant. That's kind of cool. Yeah, because you're right. Like, you know, people hear certain bottles. I've been kind of lobbying to get on lists for picks already for 2025. For my patrons, I've already sent out emails to Four Roses. They still won't do one without a 501(c), so we're kind of out on that. I did contact Jack Daniels today. They're going to try to get us in for either April or May. So it looks like we're going to get back to Jack Daniels for the Patreon group this year, along with Cedar Ridge. We're looking at, just a bunch of cool places. But I do like the secret pick idea. I dig that, guys. That's a good idea.
I was just like, you know, as soon as we announce something like this at some point, it's going to go ballistic. I don't want to have to deal with the emails. I don't want to have to handle this and that. And it's more like it was kind of a selfish decision.
Guys, Trent doesn't want to be bothered, so he's just going to release a pig, buy it if you want it. That's all.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Because you know what? We're doing our first Buffalo Trace pick this year.
Good for you.
Awesome.
And it's the regular 90 proofer Buffalo Trace, which could be really good depending on the pick. Yeah. So we're excited about that one. But man, I know the group will go crazy when that starts dropping. People are gonna start maneuvering in the tiers to try to get up, and who knows. Well,
for example, Jason, that was our very first secret pick, was the Buffalo Trace pick.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, somebody just wrote. Yeah, Virginia just said that was SLB's first secret pick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we did. I had some like custom canisters made. I made it a little bit more special than a standard Buffalo Trace pick, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat. Some people, we have a Discord channel for it just for the secret pick, and people are like, "What is it?" They're trying to get it out of me. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah. So Ben Drammond, technically, our 4-gate pick was a dark rose. This pick we did of 4-gate is a double oaked 4 roses.
Oh,
wow. We actually call it the Schmore Schmoses because we can't say technically that it's 4 roses.
That's awesome.
But it's 8-year, 9-month 4 roses distillate that's been double oaked, and it's freaking, we don't know what recipe it is, but it's freaking delicious. So
don't you love trademarks and NDPs?
Yeah. Dude, I'm learning more and more about it every single day. It's pretty interesting. Actually, great question. When do you guys go live?
We do it very infrequently, Jason.
No, I said, where do we live?
I'm sorry. I actually read that as live. Where do SLB live? You guys are in Indiana, correct?
Yeah, we're in Northwest Indiana, Valparaiso to be exact.
Okay.
Where I've been born and raised, never left. This is where I am. So Trenton, he loves it here too. He'll lie to you and say he doesn't, but he loves it right here in Northwest Indiana. Couldn't be a better place for the young fella.
My cousin Vinny lives in Indiana.
Does he?
The only other place I'd move would be Portland, Oregon, where it's more cloudy and depressing than it is here.
Go sports. Go sports.
Rainy and cold.
Rainy and cold.
Weird.
All right, guys. It's 11:20. I feel like I kept you guys on long enough. I can't say thank you enough to both of you for coming on. Kurt and Trent, this has been an absolute blast hanging out with you, getting to talk to you, learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing. Again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for coming on and being a part of Blendageddon. Thanks for what you do in the community. It's a big part of, I feel like, what YouTubers should be doing, especially from the whiskey point of view. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Likewise.
Yeah, Jason, honestly, thank you so much. Again, our doors are always open. If you're ever in this direction, please let us know. If you ever need any of our assistance, or if you like our help in any way in your charity drives, you just let us know and we'll be there for you.
Yeah, would love you guys to maybe donate a pick or two to the fundraiser. I think that'd be great.
Yep.
I'll contact you about that. And yeah, if I'm ever in Indiana, I'm definitely going to come by.
Right.
And if you guys ever want to collaborate on one of your live streams, just let me know. I'll be open to it each and every day. So I really appreciate it.
Good time. Good to me. Thanks so much, buddy.
Cheers, Jason, Kurt, Trent. Great to see all of you. All right, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. Congrats to all the blenders that made it to the final round. And as we always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people we share with. So, guys, thanks again. See you next week right here on the Master and Drum for bracket number 2. So, cheers, guys. See you soon.